So listen, I've always heard from everybody, if you love No Mercy, you need to play Def Jam Vendetta. And I kept saying, isn't that the game where the rappers beat the hell out of each other in underground clubs or something? Yeah, well, that's exactly what this game is. But nobody told me that this game is going to take me a full week to complete. Yeah, I'm talking 7 days of getting blocked, reverse slammed, and absolutely destroyed. Especially in that cursed 3-on-1 fight. Every night, I'd sit down thinking, all right, this will be the night that I'll beat it. And every night the game said, nah, run that back. You ain't winning tonight. But after grinding my way through all of it, yeah, that was an experience. Let's talk about it. Roll it. Every night, I'm sitting there relearning how to space, how to bait blocks, how to grapple, how to hit regular moves, how to get my controls to snap right to those moves in the hardest handicap fight ever created. I went into expecting this a fun few hours, not an absolute war that I got. But honestly, that struggle, that hard punishment that made beating that game incredibly difficult, made it feel oh so good. So let's start from the beginning. The first match I played told me everything that I needed to know. Yes, this is No Mercy's spiritual successor. It has the DNA. Movement, grapple, timing, everything. Then I realized something. These dudes block everything. Punch, block. Kick, blocked. Running attack, block. They instantly block everything. I had to relearn my entire approach. Running grapples, you couldn't do that. You couldn't just mash buttons. You couldn't spam it. You have to use weak grapples, build your momentum, and actually play smart. But once the pieces clicked, man, this system always feels so good. The weight of the moves, the animations, everything is just tops. And then I checked the roster. I saw DMX, Redman, Method Man, Ludacris. Okay, those were the guys I wanted to play with. I'm in. But none of that prepared me for what I was about to get into, and that's the story mode. I feel like every good game has to have a really good story mode. That's an experience that you can play when you're not doing anything else and you just want to play by yourself. Get into a story mode. When the game asked me to choose a main character, Briggs, Tank, Proof, or Cruz, I didn't really overthink it. I just picked the first name on the list, Briggs. No reason. Just thought, hey, let's go with this guy. And instantly, I'm thrown into a world of the underground fight club, smoky bathrooms, shady promoters, all of it that I love. People who definitely shouldn't be legally fighting. D-Mob pulls you into the circuit, and you're off. Briggs starts out as a total nobody. Weak moves, low damage, barely surviving matches. And that's exactly what makes this game good. As you get better, Briggs gets better. By mid-game, he feels stronger, and by the end, he feels unstoppable. It's real progression, no fake stat padding. And then there's the love triangle. Out of nowhere, the game drops your girlfriend, and suddenly this game turns into a soap opera. It's pro wrestling at its best. You got jealousy, drama, choices to make, and then the game straight up lets you play as the girls. I didn't expect that, but it made the whole story feel alive. They aren't background characters, they matter to this story. The pacing keeps the game getting better, until, well, the game decides to ruin your life. The dreaded 3-on-1 fight. This match is the hardest thing that I ever played in an AKI game. 3 dudes trying to end your entire existence. You can't breathe, you can't blink, you can't even make a mistake. Every attempt lasted maybe a minute before they dogpiled me and just beat the crap out of me. I legit thought this is going to be the end of the video. I'm just going to get footage from YouTube, put it in this video, and that'll be the end. I can talk about how I never beat it. I looked up guides. I read 20-year-old game FAQs. And I found out that you only need to KO one guy, but even that felt impossible. After hours and hours and hours of watching YouTube videos and playing this over and over and over, I finally did it. And when I finally beat it, I actually sat back and said, wow, I earned that. This wasn't just a difficulty spike, this was storytelling. The game forces you to feel struggle because Briggs is fighting for everything he has. It's brilliant. When I first played this, I thought maybe the object is to lose this match. Maybe you're supposed to get beat up and then the story progresses from there. But no, you have to win it. And when you do, Oh, it feels so satisfying. During this story mode, lots of rappers show up. DMX, Method Man, Redman, Ludacris. These fights feel like events, especially when you have to go against Method Man and Redman at the same time in a tag match. The clubs get brighter, the crowd energy gets bigger, and because you climbed your way from nothing, these fights feel earned. Vendetta understands the build-up in a way most modern games don't. When you finally walk up to a fight with DMX, you feel like you belong there. Everything ramps up towards D-Mob. The arenas get flashier, the crowds get bigger. Briggs feels like a legend rising out of the underground. You get stronger, your attire gets better, and the overall experience is a lot bigger. And then you reach the Def Jam Arena. It's a gorgeous, polished, loud, big arena that's totally opposite of where you started. The environmental storytelling is at its finest. Then there's the final fight with D-Mob. And honestly, it's not even the hardest fight in the game, but narratively, it's perfect. Beating him feels like closure. It wraps up the whole journey cleanly, and it feels like you finished something meaningful. And when the story ended, I just sat there stunned. I didn't expect any of this. The story is legit one of the best single-player campaigns that I've played in a wrestling, fighting, hybrid type game like Def Jam Vendetta. Not good for 2003, not good for a licensed game. It was actually good. It was difficult to complete, but it felt very satisfying when you finally reached the credits.
Brains.
Everybody.
The gameplay is exactly what you want from an AKI game. Smart, timing-based, spacing-focused grappling. Weak grapples build to strong grapples. Blazing moves or specials are incredible. The camera slows down and the animations get wild. Everything feels like it has impact. Running strikes kind of suck because the AI blocks so aggressively, but once you adapt, you realize the game expects you to play patiently. It's brutal, but in a fair way, most of the time. Def Jam Vendetta's vibes are unmatched. Sweaty underground clubs, metal floors, crowds yelling in your face, music shaking the entire time you're playing. This isn't a wrestling game. This is a fight game that uses wrestling mechanics. Fight culture, hip-hop culture, early 2000 culture, it blends it all perfectly together. There's never been a game that feels like this since Def Jam has been around. Alright, let's really talk about this game, because after spending a full week playing Def Jam Vendetta from start to finish, surviving the difficulty spikes, fighting every single person on the roster, getting emotionally invested in Briggs, the drama, the rappers, the world, completing the story mode, I have a lot to say. This is going to be a little bit long, but because honestly, this game deserves a long review. Everyone always says Def Jam Vendetta is just no mercy with rappers. But after playing it, that's not 100% accurate. Vendetta is built on the No Mercy skeleton, sure, but it's more like No Mercy after 3 energy drinks and doing push-ups in a parking lot. Everything hits harder, everything is faster, the animations are exaggerated, but in a good way. The weight of the moves feels more satisfying than most modern wrestling games. When Briggs drops someone with a strong grapple, it's not just a move, it feels like a fight-ending moment. And the blazing moves, dude, these finishers are done right. Slow motion, over-the-top animation, camera shake. Even if it's 20 years old, blazing moves still feel and look better than most finisher cutscenes today. It's crazy, it's over the top, but I love it. Gameplay-wise, this thing still slaps after all these years. This game is hard, and it doesn't apologize for it. Vendetta does not care if you're having a bad day. This is not a pick up and mash game, not a cheese strikes or running grapples, rush people, spam moves. The AI blocks everything if you're predictable. You have to learn spacing. You have to learn timing. You have to learn and get good at reversals. And when the game throws you into a 3-on-1 match, oh man, that match alone made me take a week to finish this game. It's one of the hardest fights I've ever played in an AKI game, and harder than some of the No Mercy fights at the end of the game. It's harder than the revenge handicap matches. But here's the thing, when you finally beat it, It feels like a real achievement. You finally get satisfaction of completing that match. It isn't fake difficulty. It's demanding, but it's fair. And once you figure out the rules, you can make it work. Vendetta makes you earn your progress and makes the victory feel incredible. In the story mode, it's way better than it had any right to be. I went into this thinking that the story was going to be goofy rappers fighting for no reason. Nope. And the crazy part? Every single match feels like it pushes the story forward. Briggs doesn't just win wrestling matches, he's climbing an underground empire. He's taking down lieutenants, club owners, street legends, and eventually rappers themselves. And by the time you're fighting DMX or Method Man or Ludacris, it feels earned. It feels like a respect thing, not a random match. The pacing is tight, the cutscenes are quick and effective, the drama actually works, and the environment tells their own story too. There are modern wrestling games with 100 times the budget that still can't deliver a story that's more focused or fun as this one. So let's talk about the roster. It's such a time capsule of the early 2000s hip-hop and underground culture. Even outside the rappers, the original characters are so memorable in this game. Plus, there's surprisingly a load of different girls that you can play as in this game. Some are your girlfriends, some you're going against. You can decide what you want to do during the story mode, but they're all there. And when you fight in the story mode, it all feels special. This roster works because it's not bloated and every fighter feels unique. The rappers feel like milestones in this game. No fighting wrestling hybrid game ever matches the vibe that Vendetta sets here. The clubs feel awesome, the crowds feel hostile, the smoke, the lighting, the chains, the metal floors, everything feels underground and illegal. It has the best atmosphere in any wrestling game using the AKI engine because it fits exactly what it is. The game is called Def Jam Vendetta and you feel that in the game. And the soundtrack? This is great. Early 2000s attitude. Every time you play a match, there's an instrumental backing that fight going on there. It's like lightning in a bottle. This could never be recreated today. And the difficulty curve feels like character progression. This is something that modern games totally fail to understand at times. When a character gets stronger in the story, the gameplay should make you feel stronger too. Vendetta does that too. Early game, you're struggling. Matches feel like a survival. Briggs is a nobody. Mid-game, you feel confident. You're beating guys who used to scare you. Late game, you're a monster. Your grapples hit like cement trucks. Blazing moves explode off the screen. And by the time you're fighting DMX or Ludacris, you feel ready. This is rare and it's brilliant. And when you finally fight D-Mob in the Def Jam arena, it actually feels like the end of a journey. The arena is polished. The lighting is bright. The crowd is bigger. The stakes feel real. And when D-Mob's going down, it feels like closure. It's not just like the last match of the game. It's simple, it's effective, and it lets you breathe after surviving a week of hell. So after a full week of this game, after the frustration, after the hype, the betrayals, the rappers, the impossible fights, the progression, the drama, here's my honest conclusion. Def Jam Vendetta is one of the best single-player fighting wrestling hybrid games that I've ever played. It's not just nostalgia, it's not just hype, it's not just a good time, it's genuinely great. The gameplay holds up. The AKI gameplay engine is still one of the best even by today's standard. The story surprised me, the roster's iconic, the AI pushes you to improve, and the vibes are unmatched. The world feels alive, the fights are memorable, and the relationships matter in this game, and well, the ending definitely pays off. There's a reason this game is still talked about to this day. It's not just a rapper gimmick game, this is a real game, a great one. And if you've never played Def Jam Vendetta, you owe it to yourself to try it out. And yes, after this, I definitely have to check out Fight for New York next.